What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and today we're talking about the multi-million-dollar scam industry in the sneaker world that has to do with secondhand resale stores. Yup, you heard that right, and this might actually affect you, so stay tuned and let me know what you guys think. Now, the year is 2023, and sneaker resale stores are everywhere. Everywhere in Central Florida where I'm located, you can go to any major mall, walk in, get yourself a pair of Jordans and Yeezys, and presumably walk out with no issue. Now, on one hand, these secondary resale stores offer a sense of community in the sense that if you're not sure where to find sneakerheads, you'll more than likely find them at these stores. They also allow you to see the product in hand, which is cool before you make a sometimes pricey purchase. Now, the big downside with these stores is, like I mentioned, pricey purchases. They often tax outrageously, justified by the fact that you're getting it in store that day in hand, so I get that and that makes sense. And while it has been proven that a lot of stores do carry fakes, that's not going to be the main point of this video, surprisingly. Instead, we're going to be focusing on the consignment aspects that a lot of these stores offer, and what that actually means is basically consignment. When you come to a sneaker store, let's say you have a pair of Jordans, you can have them sell it, and what they'll do is they'll upcharge it at whatever price. They will actually take a cut. Usually it's like 13 to 15%. Sometimes they're a little bit more generous. They will then pay you out, right? And just for the record, I have actually successfully consigned with some stores, but unfortunately not the ones I'm going to be talking about. Now, the big issue with the scamming that has come to my attention in 2023 is some pretty big news. Some of the biggest sneaker stores in LA that you see in places like Melrose that are always on YouTube videos and things like that, aka Cookies and Kicks, they kind of just screwed themselves over and a lot of their customers out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's what we're about to get into. Now, these are some of the tweets I've gathered from the sneaker community and people that I personally know. Basically, what's going on with these sneaker stores, for whatever reason, is like 3 or 4 have actually just closed their doors out of nowhere. People have been posting that do consignment with them, that these stores are simply not cashing them out, they're not returning pairs, or they're not even shipping them pairs that they were supposed to that they had pre-purchased. That's a really big deal because people trust these stores, and these stores have purposely been around for years. They have clout from, plugging in celebrities like Lil Yachty right here, and they build that rapport. So when you go to these Instagram pages, you see 100,000 followers, you think it's legit, you're more likely to do business, but then they end up screwing you like this. Now, this is somebody that's personally been affected by this. Here they claim that they're owed $30,000 by the store, which I think is crazy, and they speculate that between everybody, the store owes about $200,000 in consignment. That's actually insane to me, especially given that people have been mentioning that the store has officially closed, they're not responding to DMs, and people just have no clue what's going on with their sneakers. They don't know if they're getting them back, and it's been weeks since they've heard anything. If you ask me, I think that that's pretty poor business. And this is actually another example from a fairly popular store in New Jersey that's been around for some time. Here you can see this is somebody that's been owed $17,000. So this is, like you can see, an epidemic. I don't know what's going on in 2023, but this is a serious problem. So really the main reason why I wanted to acknowledge this with these secondhand sneaker stores is they already get a lot of hate for overcharging on stuff like, $200 to $300, $400 over the price of StockX and regular market prices. So they already get enough hate. And it's one thing to tax your customers, but it's another to actually scam them, to just close your shop up like this and to simply not acknowledge them after taking money. So I really hope for everybody's sake that got scammed that they actually do get their money back, or at least the pairs of sneakers. Now, at the beginning of the video, I did mention it is a multi-million-dollar scam industry, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that now. Something a lot of people in the sneaker industry don't know is that pre-orders really ruled the game, and I'll go ahead and make a separate video on that in my own experience if you guys are interested. As you guys can see here, Schmitty Kicks was somebody super famous for this and actually wasn't the first to go down, but in essence what would happen is he would put up sneakers, months in advance, and he would take pre-orders from customers. In reality, he would fulfill some of those orders once those sneakers released, but he was basically using people's money ahead of time for a pre-order to do whatever else he was doing, whether that was buying other pairs, buying personal items, or whatever it may be. As you guys can see, Schmitty Kicks has now declared bankruptcy, claiming that he only has $800 in assets, and he owes something like $18 million to the people he scammed and defrauded. Now, unfortunately, Schmitty Kicks isn't the only scumbag that was scamming people in the pre-order industry. This guy right here with the crazy inventory, his name is Zadeh Kicks, and he's currently facing some serious charges. Business Insider and Yahoo actually wrote about him, but essentially he was doing the same thing where he would take pre-orders on sneakers months in advance and then ended up laundering those millions. He would buy himself Lambos, Ferraris, things like that. He would fulfill some orders, but the majority of the time he was just finessing. You can actually buy some of his inventory right now on eBay, but that's not the point. The point is these guys are responsible for defrauding sneakerheads of millions of dollars, whether they deserved it or not, and there's probably not going to be any consequences beyond them going to prison, and these people are just going to lose out on their money. So this whole thing is really shady, and it just sucks because the sneaker industry as a whole, I think, has really gone downhill the last few years. I think that these stores for the most part have kind of killed a lot of the engagement in the community. The taxing is out of control. So like I said, I just wanted to make this video because if it's not the fake pairs that you have to worry about at these stores, the outrageous prices that they're charging, then you have to worry about whether or not you're actually going to get your money back when it comes to things like consignment, or whether the pairs are actually going to be good. Now, with that being said, I don't want to scare anybody into not using these stores, but definitely do your due diligence so you don't end up getting scammed. There are a few good stores out there, and I'm actually going to be dropping a podcast that I filmed with one of my boys that owns some here in Central Florida. So make sure you guys stay tuned where I'll be asking him some questions when it comes to sneaker reselling and things like that. If you made it this far, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for sticking around. I'll be covering more long-form videos like this, and like I said, thanks for watching, stay safe, and thanks for cooking with the kitchen, guys. Peace.